December 13th, 2022, Daily Bread. Passage, Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 15 to verse 23. Key verse 20. Title, Our God Would Fight for Us. When our enemies heard that we were aware of their plot and that God had frustrated it, we all returned to the wall, each to our own work. From that day on, half of my men did the work, while the other half were equipped with spears, shields, bows, and armor. The officers posted themselves behind all the people of Judah, who were building the wall. Those who carried materials did their work with one hand and held a weapon in the other, and each of the builders wore his sword at his side as he worked. But the man who sounded the trumpet stayed with me. Then I said to the nobles, the officials, and the rest of the people, "The work is extensive and spread out, and we are widely separated from each other along the wall. Wherever you hear the sound of the trumpet, join us there. Our God will fight for us." So we continued the work with half the men holding spears, from the first light of dawn till the stars came out. At that time, I also said to the people, "Have every man and his helper stay inside Jerusalem at night, so they can serve us as guards by night and as workers by day. Neither I, nor my brothers, nor my men, nor the guards with me took off our clothes. Each had his weapon, even when he went for water." Daily Bread Message. Nehemiah was a leader who took action. In response to threats of an attack by their enemies, he stationed people at the lowest points of the wall and armed them. At the same time, though, Nehemiah was fully dependent on God, and he knew that the battle was the Lord's. Nehemiah gave God the glory for frustrating the plans of their enemies. He was quick to use all the resources God provided, but his faith was in the Lord himself. Glory be to God for the victory we have in him. Nehemiah wisely took a number of precautions to protect his people. Half of his men did the work, while the other half were armed. Even the builders carried a sword while they worked. He established a communication system so that if an attack occurred, others could come and help. Furthermore, he directed the men and their helpers to remain in the city at night for protection. Still, his faith was in the Lord as he declared, "Our God will fight for us." This scene in the book of Nehemiah is a picture of the church. We are to move forward in the work God has called us to do, while being on guard for our enemy's attack. Satan prowls like a lion, waiting to devour God's people. However, we are to put on the full armor of God and stand our ground. We are to be like the builders who rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem. Prayer. Lord, help us to be alert and vigilant. One word, our trust is in the Lord.